Nice to meet you. And meeting is being. Oh, it's working now, I think.
Yep, I'm started. It's I chose the wrong selection before. It was the first time doing this, so.
Nice to meet you. And
there we are.
Oh, it's working now, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
I chose the wrong selection before. All right. So.
Nice to meet you.
Awesome sauce.
Way to go,
You
Dom.
hear that?
We are
Echo?
Okay, so there's a
Love
little
it.
lag. Just give me a moment. Awesome sauce.
Yeah, the other sound is.
Reverb.
Okay, so there's a little lag. Just give me a moment. Awesome sauce.
Yeah, the other sound is.
Okay, so there's a little lag.
The other sound. Now you. Now you.
Hit Alt A and it unmutes you.
All right, can you guys hear me better now?
Yo, yeah.
Awesome. How's everybody doing this lovely?
Hit Alt A and it unmutes you.
All right, can you guys hear me better now?
Yo, yeah.
Awesome. Ooh. How's everybody doing this lovely?
Hit Alt A and it unmutes you.
I still hear an echo.
Yeah, there's still an echo. Give me one moment. Awesome. How's everybody doing this lovely?
I still hear an echo.
Yeah, there's still an echo. Give me one moment. How's everybody doing? All right, I think I got it figured out.
Testing.
Does everybody hear me and let me know if it works? And then we will proceed.
I hear you.
So far good on my end.
Same here.
Okay.
Much better. Awesome.
Okay. We figured it out.
Yes. So we're going to give it a few minutes. Right now we only got one person watching. So bear with me for a few moments. Let's see if everybody's got the correct link.
Let's see. Let me go on real quick. Make sure it's working. See. Okay, it's working.
So
that was just
no, that's quite all right. We got 2 people watching right now. We're gonna wait to probably about a few more minutes, but in the meantime, I just wanted to thank all 3 of you for your time this last month that you've dedicated to me and helping the rest of the world understand how we can make wellness no longer a luxury and they become a commonplace, a common practice, if you may. I've always said your wellness shouldn't be a luxury and it should be something we do as often as brushing our teeth. And in American society, it's definitely become more of a luxury. And, you know, people like ourselves are really working hard and striving hard, becoming a commonplace, mainstream practice that everybody does and takes care of themselves with. Now I see we got 4 watching. Thank you guys so much, and I appreciate your patience. We're going to get started just in a few more moments. In the meantime, tell us, how was everyone's Father's Day weekend?
Well, for me, it was really great. I got to spend it with my family. It was really nice and laid back, and I also got to go to the cemetery, which was very beautiful. And it was really better than I expected. So thanks for asking, Dan. How was yours?
It was great. I actually went to a tournament this weekend with my son and my father, and it was a sort of multi-generational experience.
Awesome.
And I competed fairly well. Didn't place anything, but I had some serious struggles against my opponents. However, my son competed last minute, and he decided to go ahead and jump in, and he did it wholeheartedly, and he got third place left-handed.
Get out of town.
For from 7 to 10 years old, he kicked butt at 7 years old. One of the
That's
youngest
amazing.
competitors there.
They have age groups that young?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Good for
You
him.
must have been so proud of him just to see
Oh
him
my
compete
God.
at that age. I mean, that's like incredible. They're so young and vulnerable, and they just, they don't know what's going on. They're only 7. But that's
Yeah,
awesome.
exactly.
Great
Exactly.
experience. Great experience.
One of the things that he has witnessed me throughout my entire process of this arm wrestling sport, and me starting it and me having some serious troubles and the pains and aches that I was in it, and he got to actually see me persevere through it, and it was definitely a great experience for him, as a child to watch that.
Aw.
So we're going to go ahead and get started, and if people want to join or listen in on us, they can ask questions.
And then it'll be saved in the end, right? It'll be saved.
I'll be saved and reposting it as soon as
Awesome.
it's saved. So with that being said, welcome to Wellness Reimagined Biohacking for Arm Wrestlers. We are live streaming today for the first time ever with a live Q&A, which stands for those who don't know, questions and answers segment. Today's live feed will serve as a platform for our viewers to get a chance to interact directly with wellness and product service providers to clarify any questions they may have. So before we jump into any of the questions in the chat that we may be getting, do you guys have any questions for each other? Because I do know that there are some things that you guys don't know about each other, and let's start off there.
Sure. Well, I first automatically had a question about the chirotherapy. Just really, honestly, to be quite honest, I don't know much about it at all. So I really just, I've seen videos of it. I even saw Dan getting work done, and that it really, really interests me. And it definitely, after reading about it, just seeing how it's not super complicated, but it could do such amazing work. So I'd love to hear a little bit, just the basics of what it really is.
Right. Oh, okay. Well, basically, cryotherapy is extreme cold therapy, but my cryotherapy is a lot different than what traditional cryotherapy has to offer. Okay, traditional cryotherapy uses liquid nitrogen gas.
Right.
A lot of times you see people walking into a coffin or a chamber, and they sit in there for 2 or 3 minutes, and then the vapors of the liquid nitrogen actually get sprayed on you, and you get cold. Okay,
That's what I'm familiar with.
right. But my cryotherapy is a different modality, a different approach. It's high pressure cryotherapy. I use a completely different gas. I use liquid carbon dioxide and a lot of compressed air in special tanks, and I have a specific medical device that dispenses the gas onto your skin with a lot of pressure, a lot of ram air pressure. So that's the difference between my cryotherapy. It has deep tissue penetration, deep bone penetration, versus the liquid nitrogen treatment, which basically sprays on you like an aerosol can. Mine, that's why when you see Dan, you see the force that the gas comes out and hits the skin. And I use protective sheathing on the skin to protect the skin from burning. And it has deep tissue penetration, basically just eradicates inflammation and relieves the pain. And Dan can contest to it, to himself. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. It's all about controlling the inflammation.
Wow. Thanks. I really appreciate all the...
No, you're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Yes, thank you. That actually helped me understand it better, because I did see the video with Dan getting sprayed, and I was like, and I remember asking him, I was like, when we were here at the float place, how much space would you need? It's like, you need at least 10 feet because, you're shooting. This is being shot at you. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm
10
like, I don't
feet.
know if I want to get shot.
Pretty
But I get
intense,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Well, it all depends on, if I'm using the cryo cannon on him, then yeah, I have to be at least 8 feet away from him. But the cryo cannon's a little extreme, we'll just say. It's a lot of fun.
Sounds
but,
I mean,
yeah.
the name in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's I've hit Dan with the cryo cannon a few times, and I think he's experienced the power of that thing. But most of the treatments that I do are local, controlled, and precision, targeted areas. So it's a different approach. It's a completely different approach.
So just so our viewers know who's who here, we have Greg here, who's from New York Cryogen. He performs the high pressurized cryotherapy. We have Jules with the Feel Good Factory, who's a CBD manufacturer with a huge line of CBD products. And then we have Rosie here from the Float Place, who has float therapy, and there's an infrared sauna, and she's going to be actually highlighting a little bit more of what she's going to be doing with the float therapy place as well down the road. So just a quick little intro once again to see who's who.
Super nice to meet everyone. I'm
Nice
super
to meet
excited.
you.
Already have learned so much, and it's just been just a couple of minutes.
Yeah,
Awesome.
exactly.
Yes, thank you.
Well-
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here because I'm getting to learn about these new modalities that I'm not, they're not even part of my toolbox of whole
Agreed.
health, holistic healing.
Right.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, the concept of biohacking is not something is new, actually. It's an old age concept that's been around for a while. Just got resurfaced and readopted, and it's kind of the term is fairly all-encompassing. So you have from the technological side of things, you can have Fitbits, and you can have Apple Watches that can track your day-to-day life. And that's one way of biohacking, by just tracking everything and micromanaging your own body, if you may. Whereas the biohacking that I refer to is more so of the wellness aspect. It's more so to heal the body in a natural sense, utilizing innovative ways to expedite that healing process within the body. And so you can do more with yourself, and you feel better about what it is you're doing with less pain and actually less time commitment too. I mean, it is a cumulative thing where you're going to be investing a lot of your time regularly into it, but you don't need to be investing a lot of time at one given time for it. I mean, for float therapy, I'm only in there, once every 2 or 3 weeks at 90 minutes. Who can't dedicate 90 minutes within every 3 weeks to their wellness at the maximum level of time commitment? Whereas with Greg, it only takes a 6 to 12 minute session to really see relief and see the benefit. So this is a great way to really take better care of yourself with a minimal work ethic on your behalf, if you may.
Right.
Roseanne, could you just tell me a little bit about the float therapy? I mean, I've done it once a long time ago, and someone gave me a gift card, and I went, and my experience was a little unusual, you know what I'm saying? So it was, my eyes got irritated. I don't know if they use chlorine or salt water, or what is there a difference between float therapies? I mean,
Well, I shared with Dan when we did the first interview with the Float Place. I've only been to 2 float centers since floating came into my life, and one of them was in Iowa. And I have to say I had the same experiences here, less other things, but floating in general, yes. There are, in our tanks, we have about 2,500 to 3,000 pounds of Epsom salt.
okay.
And then there's about 200 to 250 gallons of water. Now, if you, for any reason, touch your face because maybe you feel something on your face after you're in the tank, most likely it is going to irritate your eyes because now you've gotten salt in your face and in your eyes.
That's what
So
probably
that will
happens, yeah.
definitely ruin a float. In the instructions, we have a walkthrough video, which explains that We have a fresh water sprayer in there so that you can rinse your hands, dry it. And then if you absolutely need to remove something from your face, you do it with clean hands.
Clean hands. Okay.
Yes,
That's what I probably did. I probably instinctively wanted to scratch myself, and I wasn't thinking.
Littlest bit. Yeah.
Yes. And so that can definitely ruin a float, because now you feel the stinging of the salt in your eyes. And it is a very high content of salt in there. So it is going to irritate your eye. You're not going to go blind, but it will ruin your 90 minutes.
Right. Well, thank God it was towards the end, at least it was towards the end. But I was really amazed on, I'm not a small guy. And I was amazed at how such little bit of water was able to suspend me in there. And I'm like, at first I was kind of sliding in. I'm like, oh, I'm going to sink, I'm going to drown. Then all of a sudden, I come right to the top, and I'm like, holy cow. I shut the lights off, and I tell you, it was probably the best 89 minutes of rest I got until I did one of these. And all of a sudden my eye got irritated, but thank God it was at the end. But it went by quick, especially when you're exhausted. Wow. There was just maybe what is it, like 8 inches, 12 inches of water?
11 inches of water.
11 inches of water. Yeah.
Yes.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. There's no drowning. You can literally just sit up. As soon as you gesture to sit up, you're going to touch the bottom.
No,
Right.
is it
an
enclosed casing?
Yes. Well, we do have at the Deer Park location, we have one that's more encapsulated, but we have 2 rooms. The float rooms in Patchogue, those are big rooms also. We don't have an encapsulated one there. The encapsulated is only here because that's the one that started in Tom's basement.
Okay.
Yeah. I always say this. I was like, imagine being invited to a man's house. It's like, would you come down to my basement so that you can get into this blue box?
On a float?
Like,
You want to float? Come on into my
house. Come on. Uh-huh.
It looked like a time cap. It actually looked like a time capsule, the one I went into. It closed. I'm like, oh my God, am I going to be okay?
Yes.
It's definitely intimidating for the first time experiencing that, because I still haven't yet to experience the actual tank itself. I am looking forward to actually going into the tank my next experience, because I think I'm ready to graduate from the room and give it a good old college try, because I've been utilizing the room for the last year and a half now.
I'm telling you, Dan, when you do it, go there tired. And it's like the 90 minutes go by so quick. It's like it's over, really. How
would you explain the feeling of when you're out?
Well, it's very individual to each person, honestly. Yes, it is. It really depends on. For me, my very first time.
What you're holding maybe in your body.
Say that one more time.
Maybe how you release what's in your body is different for everyone, I guess.
That's right? Depending on how you're going into the float already and what state. People will come in because they did a very strenuous workout. So they're like, oh, wow, I feel relief. I've had people come in that they had a sciatica nerve. They could barely walk. When they come out, they felt so much looser. The first time that I went in there, I didn't go in with any aches and pains. I didn't go in there tired. I went in there because I heard that it brings your meditation to a whole other level. I'm like, I'm in for that. And I literally walked out of there like I was floating on clouds.
Wow.
Literally, I felt like I was like, wow, this is what it feels like to be in a whole other level of consciousness. Okay. But that's what it was for me. I do feel that, Dan, you said something about how, all of these other modalities help you recover. The 90 minutes, regardless of what state you go in there, whether you go in tired, whether you go in for meditation, whether you go for a sciatic nerve, whether you go in to recover from your arm wrestling, your body goes into a state of homeostasis. Okay. And that's really when all healing happens in our body. Because when we're stressed, our body can't do it because it's focused on the stress. And so being in a tank for 90 minutes and getting to that state of homeostasis effortlessly, because the amount of Epsom salt to water produces magnesium, and that will relax your body regardless of what's going on up here, regardless. And so your body is going to relax, bringing you to homeostasis. So whatever may be going on in your body that you don't even know, is going to start healing.
Wow.
Okay.
It has no
I
other
didn't know
choice,
what the
really.
fuck-
Has no other choice. You're like not forcing it, but you're helping it stay in a state of
Yes.
healing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so the more that you do it, you're constantly healing from whatever it is, whether it is anxiety, whether it is depression,
Trauma.
whether it be
Right.
PTSD, whether it be, some kind of degenerating stuff in your body, it'll start healing it. But you have to stay consistent, because some people feel that, and I think most of us, because I can say for myself as well, we want this instant gratification. And so we rather go to the doctor, let me have the surgery or let me have the pill because I need to feel good now. And they won't invest 90 minutes, to just let their body feel natural.
I feel like that's something all of our companies can agree on, is that our practices all are something where you do need to stay consistent and like just put in that a little bit of that work, and you will see eventually. It might take a little time too, but once you do see that, your body will start to get used to the new like ways of healing. It just takes time. Like your body isn't just going to be one and done, ready to go.
Right. And that's the thing, is that we don't really think about, it didn't take us overnight to get to where we are in a state of disease, whether it be an ache or pain or anxiety, whatever it may be. It didn't happen overnight. It took time for us to develop a symptom that we need to bring, attention to it, whether it be to a doctor or whether it be like, what, I really don't feel good. We kind of let it kind of get to that point that we can't take it anymore.
I know. And it's like, why do we continue to do that to ourselves?
That's a good question.
So-
I bring it to Dan.
So we as a human race constantly abuse ourselves, constantly put stresses on ourselves, whether it's life or an actual activity that provides us a certain level of enjoyment, but we still kind of abuse. Like for myself, arm wrestling gives me a certain level of enjoyment that nothing else does. So
right.
Consistency is, as you said, key and crucial on recovering our body and putting up the pieces back together, if you may. Similarly to, like pieces of Legos, if you may. If we constantly throw the Legos on the ground, it's going to be a hot mess to pick up later in life. So if we're organizing ourselves and structuring our livelihoods in a certain fashion where wellness becomes a big component on a regular basis, then we can have beautiful structures in place that allows us to really live our lives to our fullest.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It enables us to do so. It enables us to grow as a group, as an entity. And I got to tell you, as a licensed massage therapist, people always say, oh, wow, that feels great. But it only lasted for like a day or two. And I was like, well, you got to come regularly. I'm no magician. I can't wave a magical wand and poof goes the pain. You got to make sure you're coming back regularly. And just as each of you have mentioned, the cumulative benefit of each of our services really shows a lot more profound results. So I do want to just quickly cover as to what and how I utilize each individual one of your services to my benefit as an arm wrestler, and what I utilize it in my routine and my regimen. So pre-tournament, I got to get my mind right. I got to get my mind on a level that I got to become something else. I can't be your average happy-go-lucky massage therapist, Dan. I got to become somebody else that I got to tap into a side of me that is dormant, if you may.
Right.
I've pushed down over the years and kind of contained and bottled it up. And so to do so, I go and jump into the float therapy. And I have a mantra that I've developed over the time of my float therapy experience, which is visualize the pin, visualize the win. And I literally put that on repeat in my head. And that allows for me to focus on pretty much visualizing my matches to come. And I'm able to do so. I actually utilize a lot of the CBD gummies and to kind of help focus that thought process. So before a tournament even begins, I've already gotten the CBD and float therapy under my belt. Now, if I have to make weight, I actually utilize some other services float therapy provides. They actually have an infrared sauna to help detox. We're going to go into that one on a later podcast. But post-tournament, I'm experiencing some serious aches and pains from my competition, from the abuse that I just endured. And so I got to go ahead, immediately put some CBD cream on to help topically address that inflammation and that pain and those aches. Now, that doesn't completely solve everything. It does help alleviate the pain right then and there, and it does help allow for me to kind of go about my day. But what really helps eradicate my pain and my inflammation, the final, nail in the coffin for that pain is Greg with his cryotherapy. And that just eliminates everything that wasn't covered by the float therapy, that wasn't covered by the CBD. It's just kind of my fail safe to say, hey, now I'm ready to go. I just saw Greg yesterday post the tournament over the weekend, and I am feeling ready to take over the world. I can't wait for my next practice. I am so excited and am so ready to take over the world. So,
oh boy,
that's a routine.
Good for you. That's a routine, is right. Wow.
And for our viewers that are watching, please feel free to follow my routine or create your own, if that matters. I don't see anybody, putting any questions in here. It's okay. We're going to be ending it shortly, and then in probably next 5 minutes or so. But I just want you guys to know, like, share, subscribe. Stay tuned for more of these. I'm going to have a lot more opportunities to meet with providers, bringing back providers. Any other questions that each of you have for each other?
And
me?
I just wanted to say thanks, Dan, this is awesome. I've gotten to learn about so many different ways of wellness tonight from such great people. And I even got to learn that there's different, even subcategories to the things that you both do. And just learning about how I could even easily bring both of your companies into my routine at very low cost. And that's a big thing that a lot of us worry about, is wellness being expensive and wellness being, so hard to reach, but it's really not. And I just wanted to thank you, Dan, for having us, on your platform tonight.
I'm happy to have you. And just so you guys know, I think Greg has something he wants to share about being able to offer this to the masses. Is that something?
Well, yeah, I think I could say something now. We're going to be making a press release tomorrow. I've done a lot of work behind the scenes, really trying to prove that my high pressure cryotherapy is clinically superior to traditional cryotherapy. We've done clinical trials, large clinical trials earlier in the year. And actually, that's how I met Dan. Dan was a participant in our clinical trials group. And, thanks to him and all the other people that participated in the clinical trials, we've actually recently just got recognition by the American Medical Association and got approval to get my modality covered with insurance, Medicare and all private insurances. So we got the endorsement of the AMA just last week, but all the paperwork and things like that were signed today. So I'm going to be releasing a press release soon on this. We are actually now considered a medical device company because I've actually developed our own high pressure cryotherapy device for distribution and use for this modality. So we've done a lot behind the scenes, and Dan has, is just one piece of the pie in helping me really kind of justifying this modality. And we're recognized as a course of medical therapy, medical treatment, and it's going to be recognized by the AMA and the FDA. So it's we're in the process of getting all our coding in place right now. We should have everything rocking and rolling, hopefully by September 1st of this year. It's going to be exciting times. We've gotten a lot of interest domestically as well as globally. So big things are coming. And I want to bring my modality to the masses and make it affordable for everybody. That's how much I believe in it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm really happy for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Dan, thank you again for this platform. I mean, this is awesome.
It's my absolute pleasure.
Listen, the passion behind what I do is that I'm a chronic pain patient myself. I could tell you my story another day, but I have implants in me that control my pain, and it's been a rough road. But
Wow.
you know, Dan, thank you so much for this platform. You did a great job. You know, good job. Thank you so much for having me, and it was great to meet Roseanne and Jules.
I'm happy to have each and every one of you on. Please feel free to look at the links in the description for each of these providers' websites. And again, like, share, and subscribe to see more of what we have. Also, guys, if you have any questions about any specific services you want me to highlight, please send them my way. I want to go ahead and explore them and help everyone feel better and feel the best they can.
Awesome. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a